So this video is presented so you can think through things very deeply. It's not something that'll give you a how-to, and it's not something that'll immediately fix your life or anything corny like that. But I do believe that a slight perspective shift, even if it's very minor, can actually completely change and alter the course of your life if it is taken seriously. And hopefully these next 3 minutes can help you break through your own cycle. If it made you think differently at all, feel free to subscribe. If it didn't, I'm definitely curious to hear why. But I guarantee you, if you think you have an answer to what I'm saying, you're probably not thinking it through enough. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Nothing that you do is truly you. If you really think about it, at what point do you begin and at what point do you end? And can you even really take control of it? If you really think about it, you don't grow your nails, you don't grow your skin, you don't grow your bones, you don't grow your hair, you don't beat your own heart, you don't fire off your neurons, you're not in control of your lungs. That anxiety that comes in through the middle of the day, that's not you. When you have random thoughts throughout the day, that's also not you. Your random desires, you might have an urge to go drink some water, go eat, that's also not you. You're not in control of that. Your desire to have sex, to watch TV, scroll through social media, you're not in control of any of those things. You might think that you are, but you're really not. And there's gonna be some people who get extremely offended by that. They're gonna say, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. I am fully in control. You're not. And that actually might start triggering some people. They're gonna start watching this video and start saying, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. I am in control. I'm a very disciplined person. You're not. You're not in control of anything. From the point that you were born, everything that you've learned always came from your external environment. You were not in control of where you were born, what you did as a kid, what you actually ended up learning, what your environment was. Every single decision you've had in your life came from a series of other decisions. And the crazy part is that those decisions came from your own environment. So, for example, when you're a 5-year-old, you're not in control of what you see, what you hear, and where you go. And that starts shaping your own mental framework. And as you go into an adult, the only way you make decisions is based on your own previous mental framework. Meaning, you are not in control of what you're actually doing. You're just going based on the data you've collected in your past. And realize that every decision you make, you're always analyzing that through your own set of previous experiences in the past too. So in short, your life is a chain of events that help you analyze and make a decision on the next event. And this alone can lead to feedback loops that we call anxiety. And these feedback loops themselves are cycles. If you hadn't made progress in a very long time, you're probably stuck in a cycle. If you're constantly anxious, you're probably stuck in some form of a cycle. If you feel like you're just going nowhere and nothing's really happening for you, you're probably stuck in some form of cycle. And to really break this cycle, you need something that shocks your system. And what can shock your system is fear. Fear is something that stops you in your tracks. It breaks your mental framework of where you are at that very moment, and it makes you stop and think. And yes, it's absolutely uncomfortable, and it's something that we all collectively try to avoid as much as possible. And it sounds so corny and it sounds so ironic, but it's that typical old saying of everything you've ever wanted is always on the other side of fear. And the irony of life would be that the most simple answer is also the solution, which is exactly that. We always look for things that are more fancy. We always look for things that are probably going to be, more sexy to avoid fear. But at the end of the day, if you really want to break that cycle, go do something that makes you want to shit your pants. And no, you won't die. You will suffer and you will be uncomfortable, but that's kind of the point. There are humans on this planet right now that have went through 100 times worse of what you actually went through, and they're further ahead of you in whatever category of life you could possibly imagine. And none of this is meant to really be motivational hoorah or any cheesy nonsense like that. It's really just black and white facts. So whatever thing you're stuck in, whatever category of life it is, think of the scariest thing you could possibly do and just do that. At bare minimum, it'll at least break your cycle and help you reshift your mind ever so slightly. And really the sad part here is that most humans won't do that. They're gonna continue sitting in their cycle, and the crazy part is probably over 90% of them just die living in that cycle. And they keep telling themselves Monday is when I'm gonna start, the 1st of January is when I'm gonna start, but they never really do. They end up dying and nothing really gets done. That's just the course of a natural human's life. And the point of this video isn't really to be encouraging or to try to motivate you or to try to demotivate you. It's really to just state exactly what's going on. So the next time you're stuck in a cycle, just remember one word, which is fear. And the hero's journey itself effectively requires it. But that's going to be a story for another day. In the future, we'll have videos where we dive in very deep into all of these topics. But for now, I'll see you guys next time. And if this was valuable to you at all, please do comment. I would love to hear, or do subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.